So there's a video out. They say it's a Ring doorbell video, but I don't know. When I watched the video, I saw like the camera moving a little bit. I don't know if someone was actually filming it from inside the house, like through a window or whatever.
No,
regardless.
I think it's a normal surveillance home video that you see anywhere, and it makes there is no doubt that Richard Sherman's completely out of his mind.
Yeah, he's completely out of his mind. We know that he had been drinking. We don't know how much he had been drinking, but he is trying to get into the home. He's banging on the door like crazy. He's trying to bust in.
The home is his in-laws' home.
Yeah, that's right.
And when his wife called and said there are no weapons, that's not true. Her father, Richard Sherman's father-in-law, was carrying a weapon and also pepper sprayed Richard Sherman through the door, according to reports.
Yeah, and when you see him trying to get into the house, you understand why they were trying to subdue him somehow, some way, because God knows what would have happened when he got into the house. So that video is there. I want to know, though, if that is the home surveillance system, how is this getting out there? So, they're obviously, the Richard Sherman in-laws and that family is putting it out there. They're giving it to somebody to view, unless it's public knowledge or it be information because the cops obtained it.
They could have given it to the police, and somebody within the police gave it out. Now, the one thing I will say, when you see it, it's startling.
Yeah.
And it's startling, so therefore, there's really I don't think there's any defense that Richard Sherman could have in this case, seeing this. And maybe seeing this, putting this out there will get Richard Sherman to seek some sort of, I think, mental therapy, which is, it sounds like they've been trying to get him to do for the last few months. At least that's been part of the reports, that he has been saying some of these crazy things about suicide over the last few months. And it sounds like the people in his life want to get him help, and maybe this will help him seek help after he sees himself.
Yeah, so I was following Amy Dash. She was tweeting about this, and she was talking about the court proceedings with Richard Sherman, and the judge said no bail, you're allowed to go, just no alcohol, no drugs, no firearms. So that to me is like, you cross your fingers, right? I mean, isn't that, you're basically saying, all right, because of your history in the community and we know you're a good dude, you're free to go. This is not part of who you are. This is an outlier. You're free to go. But isn't that a dangerous thing? Because clearly the behavior that we saw there is different from the Richard Sherman behavior we have seen in the past. And maybe something severe has happened to him and he can't be trusted. So
doesn't sound like the judge took the previous 3 months of what has been written and said about Richard into account in this case, because this is maybe this is the low point. Mm-hmm. Maybe this is where the crescendo of all the activity in his life over the last 3 to 4 months. This is the final straw, and maybe he'll seek help or whatever his family's trying to get him to do.
Yeah, I hope so. Maybe this is like the rock bottom moment, and he says, all right, I got to get help. But we're hoping that it's not one of those things where he's just different now. It's a brain issue. He's lost it. We've seen that before in other guys, and we're hoping that's not it. It's just out of character for him. Hey, Richard Sherman's someone who's got chip on his shoulder, edge, press conference, trash talk, corner, but he's always been someone that you knew at the end of the day was a good dude. He just was very outspoken. This right here was completely different from the Richard Sherman that we've ever seen. So that's why you're worried.
I think even, John Lynch put out a statement from the 49ers, and I'm sure the Seattle Seahawks put out a statement, and, they all want to support him. They all want to help him. The question is, does he want to get help, and will he get help?
Yeah.
And maybe this will be the thing that will be the impetus for him to see that in the eyes of many around him that he does need help.
Yeah, and the video getting out there is interesting. It's probably got over 1 million views now. It's crazy. Everything that happens is a video now.
But it just goes to show you the just impossible job that you have when a frantic phone call comes in, 911.
And you have someone like Richard Sherman in the state that he was in who didn't want to be arrested.
It's just Richard now and we're talking about him because he's famous. But you know how many times this happens on a daily basis?
Every day.
Yeah, the big question is a couple things in regards to the pandemic around the Yankees. Number one, Jonathan Loaizica, Nestor Cortez, and of course Wandy Peralta all test positive. Now the question is, did they go home? Did they fly on an airplane? Did they, where were they in order to contract the virus. Where did they go? What did they do? Now the other one, of course, is Aaron Judge, and we all know where Aaron Judge was.
The All-Star game.
He was at the All-Star game.
It was Aaron Judge, Kyle Higashioka, and Gio Urshela that tested positive with a rapid test, and they're waiting for the
so
PCR
and
test.
Urshela could have went somewhere as well. So they could be in that. If they come back positive, they could be. Maybe they were all on the same plane except for Aaron Judge. I don't know. Maybe they went home for a couple days. Who knows? That would be probably some of the questions that are being asked. But the Aaron Judge one is really significant simply because he was at the All-Star game. We all watched the All-Star, well, not watched it, but we all saw the home run hitting contest. We saw how packed the stadium was. We saw the players interacting with one another. And that's one of the reasons why a number of the Red Sox now have undergone testing as well, because a number of their players were also out at the All-Star game. So they're just trying to figure out all this stuff and just do some contact tracing. Hopefully all this stuff is not serious, and we haven't heard of really any major athlete of any sort in any of the sports, even NASCAR, golf, or anything, come down with anything significant. They've lost opportunities like John Rahm did, where he was leading the Memorial Tournament and ended up leaving. And then, of course, we have 3 golfers that weren't allowed to play in the British Open because they did test positive, and so they stayed home. But we haven't heard of any significant deaths or any long-term symptoms from athletes that I know of. And there may be 1 or 2 that we don't know of, but it just goes to show you that if these guys all were vaccinated, like Brian Cashman said, it'd be interesting to see what their symptoms are like and how quickly they get back.
Well, they got that Johnson & Johnson vaccine, which was the one shot and the least effective of the 3 big ones, which to me I thought was odd. Now, I know that it's protecting from hospitalization and death, that is the big thing with the vaccine. However, when you get shut down for any period of time with positive tests, the positivity rate still matters, and the efficacy against the virus as a whole still matters. So if I'm a baseball team, I'm not rolling my dice with the 66% effectiveness of the Johnson & Johnson. I'm getting the 2-shot one. So I'm just surprised. This is the second issue that the Yankees have had.
Well, they're trying to make it easy for the athletes when the athletes could have easily done Pfizer or Moderna.
Cut corners.
And you had the Pfizer, and you believe that that's the best. I took the Moderna. I feel like that was the best.
Okay. Both better than Johnson & Johnson. We can agree on that.
People still need to get vaccinated. And what's interesting, I was talking to Gunnar over the weekend, and he was telling me that up at Dartmouth, kids are now coming down with colds because now they're all back together again. And it's not COVID-19. It's the common cold that they're coming down with. And, we may see a rise in that as well. So I'm still one of these guys that believes in fighting through it, pushing right through it. Yeah, get the answers. Get if you want.
Well, it should play tonight, right?
I believe they should, but
the weather allows it.
I guess it all depends on, how deep this goes on all the rosters. And I would imagine anybody that was around Aaron Judge at the All-Star game is going to be going through contact tracing and testing for other teams, I would think. It only would make sense that if the Red Sox are going to be doing that, then you got to believe that the other teams and the other players that were around Aaron Judge would force those teams to do the same thing. But again, I mean, to me, it's, all right, we shut the game down, abundance of caution. But we also know that there's another variant, the Delta variant seems to be more, transmissible. And we also know that most people, if not all people that are coming down with the new strain of COVID-19 and the Delta variant are people who are not vaccinated. So, I know that there are people that think that, they don't want to get the vaccination. That's your choice. If you don't want to get it, that's fine. I'm an advocate for it, 100% advocate for it. And have been since the inception of it, and was talking about it last year at this time before it even got here. So now that they all, and some of these guys are vaccinated and have gotten it, and you said they all got the Johnson & Johnson vaccination, all right, let's go. Let's live through it. That's what you have to do.
Yeah, I would think that with the contact tracing, if you're going to have one more game postponed to be sure, then that's fine. But more than that, I think would be over the top. So do you expect the Yankees and the Red Sox to play tonight and push through it, or do you think we're going to have another couple days where those guys are not going to be playing?
I think when those tests come back, whether they came back last night or they'll come back at some point today, I don't see how they couldn't have come back last night. But anyway, I'm sure Major League Baseball, the Red Sox and the Yankees are discussing this. I'm sure that Rob Manfred and his office is all over this. And they're probably, I would think, because of the All-Star game, talking to other organizations as well. That this is going to be, not decided anytime this morning, I don't believe, but sometime this afternoon you'll probably get an announcement from Major League Baseball as to how they're going to move forward.
I got to ask Stephen Waldron a question at CBS Sports Network because I was just watching something on the monitor here. Is Stephen there? Stephen, are you working on this fine summer Friday? Hey, what's going on? So you were just putting up pictures of the 3 guys who tested positive on the Yankees that we know of, not Judge, Higashioka, and Urshela, but Cortez, Loaisiga, and Wandy Peralta. Did you pick pictures of them where they were looking distressed on purpose? Like the Loaisiga and Peralta pictures I thought were perfect.
This is how behind the scenes.
See, look at this.
This is how behind the scenes people can really make a statement.
So this is Peralta looking up, and look at Loaisiga. He looks distressed.
He does.
Now, Cortez, he's pitching, but Loaisiga looks distressed. Okay, all right, very good. Now, Cortez, he's got the mustache and he's pitching. But can you show the Peralta one more time, too? That first one? The Peralta one, he's looking up to the sky, like, why me? And I think someone made a great editorial decision on that. And I just wanted to give you guys, look at that, see?
Yes.
Like,
why me?
Great job, night team. Look at that. And then you zoom in on it. I think that was some great production value.
It's like those the dishwasher commercials where you see the product that doesn't work well and it just somebody looks all haggard and they're not made up. And then they get the product they're pitching and they're all dolled up like they're going out clubbing.
100%. See, that's the type of production value that I appreciate. Someone really thinking last night to make sure that this looked perfect. You can't have a happy Wandy Peralta up there this morning. He's not happy. He's got COVID. So that's not, you don't put a happy Wandy Peralta up there.
We're not happy either because we didn't get a baseball game.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, so does that sound weird to say that?
What do you mean?
Like, we're not happy because, all right, so.
Ben Wolf.
Oh, Ben Wolf. Ben Wolf did a good job.
All right, Ben Wolf. Nice work, man. We all appreciate it.
Boomer, Gio, and Waldron.
Yeah, that's right, and Waldron. Yes. So anyway, what were you saying that we're?
I mean, we're upset because we didn't get a baseball game. These guys came down with COVID.
But we believe that they're going to be okay.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so it's okay to say that.
You think it's okay to say that?
Yeah.
All right, so what happens if they come back and Major League Baseball goes, bat crazy, and decides that every team that had a player at the All-Star game, that player can't play until they pass a test or have a negative test, I should say.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if that were the case. I'd be very surprised.
You don't think they're going to overreact?
I don't think they're going to go to bat bleep status.
What is the reaction level? Yeah, that's more like 1 through 5, 5 being the
bat
most
bleep?
extreme. Yes, bat bleep crazy.
I'll go with 3. I'll go with a 3 on the bat bleep scale of 1 to 5.
What do you think, Al? You usually got your finger on the pulse.
4. Oh, you're going to go 4 on the bat bleep scale.
So you think they're going to go? We'll ask the pulse.
So you think that other games are going to be canceled tonight?
Yes.
Wow, more postponements. Eddie, will we see more postponements tonight?
I'm going to go with a 1.
1, so they're going to push through.
Yeah,
Major League Baseball.
Call up minor leaguers. They're just going to, like Boomer said, let's just go.
Let's just power through, head down. COVID be damned. We're playing baseball games.
And do what you feel like you have to do to protect everybody, but you got responsibilities.
I see that pulse of the people.
Yes, you can. There you go.
Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the red bell so you're notified when we have new content.